What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here. Spurs have come crashing down to earth after being beaten 4-1 at home to Chelsea this evening in what was one of the craziest London derbies in recent memory, considering we had Battle of the Bridge and we've had a number of very high intensity derbies. This is definitely up with there. 2 red cards for Spurs, ending the game with 9 men. And after all that, after taking the lead after 5 minutes, but unfortunately succumbing to late pressure from Chelsea in what ended Tottenham's unbeaten run. It ended Ange's unbeaten home record, but we did it playing the Ange way and we did it playing the Tottenham way. And after a 4-1 defeat against Chelsea, it's very rare to see the Tottenham fans fully appreciate and in full voice at the end of the game. And I think that probably says everything about what the Spurs fans in general thought about tonight's performance. But there are a lot of things to pick over, a lot of incidences to talk about, a lot of things to be angry about, but also a lot of things to be proud about. And the number one person when it comes to anger and pride is waiting on the line right now. So let's get him on, Mr. Brian Daigle. How are you doing, Brian?
That was a Ben-esque introduction. That was fantastic. Thank you, sir. Now, listen, tell you the truth, boys. I hope everyone's well. It's mainly going to be about pride, in all honesty. This game, listen, it's injuries, suspensions, VAR craziness. But people like Dyer, who we all know comes in for a hell of a lot of abuse, I think did really, really well. The subs came on, Pierre did well, but obviously Vicario, my God, he's player of the match, goalkeeper of the match, defender of the match. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, what an unbelievable performance that was. And if it wasn't for that late flurry of goals, you're talking about one of the best performances of the season. Probably, maybe you still are, even with the goals later on. I mean, it was an incredible showing. But talk me through the incidences. I mean, there's so many. I mean, I don't know how long you have, but talk to me about the ones that really made a difference in terms of the red cards and your thoughts on them.
So do you know what? We started off terrifically. The football looked incredible. The second goal that was disallowed for us in the sun was a magnificent team goal, magnificent. But I think we lost our heads from the moment of Doji's two-footed tackle. That was where we just, for 15 minutes, we just lost our heads. The goals that were disallowed. I tell you one thing. I want to know why, in God's green earth, the Premier League did not take this automated offside. I don't get this. Look how much time was wasted. There you go. So I mean, the clubs, it's ridiculous because look how long those breaks taken. Do you know what? I'm kind of putting that kind of responsible for Van der Ven's hamstring. All this stop start, their muscles getting rested. Van der Ven, I mean, the penalty. Listen, what I could see from the penalty, I was going bonkers at the Scotland yard. It was exactly like Curtis Jones for Liverpool, the kind of tackle. It was a red for them, so we're going to have to be honest and say it was a red for Romero. Vicario almost obviously saved the penalty, but then once Van der Ven went off, I mean, so we've now got Van der Ven out, Romero suspended, Udogie suspended. Very special mention. I think Porro was an absolutely incredible performance by him as well. But the referee and the VAR, I mean, everyone's talking VAR.
Did you think this game, this was and a red card?
Do you know what? I my knowledge might be wrong, but I thought this double jeopardy was kind of done.
It is done, but not when it comes to violent conduct. So they're saying it was it's not about a goal scoring opportunity. They're saying it was a red card challenge, and then regardless of whether it's in the penalty area or not, it needs to be given a red card.
Okay, Simeon, just to let you know, there's a major echo in the back end.
Yeah. Is everyone else muted in the back end? We'll try and sort that out. Everyone's muted. That's
better. It seems to have gone. That's it. It's gone.
Okay. Awesome. But let's talk about Ange's approach to playing with 9 men. Now, a lot of people on Twitter are saying Tottenham have taken a moral victory today, despite being beaten 4-1 with his high line approach with 9 men, which a lot of people thought was is suicide. But if you're looking at the end of the game at 2-1, you know, Bentancur had that chance, Dyer had a goal, marginal offside, Son had a chance as well by Eric Dyer. So but we did end up losing the game 4-1. So do you commend Ange for how he approached the game even with less men, or do you think he should have been a bit smarter in that situation and just done what Liverpool did?
I think it's a bit of both. I mean, listen, we've heard Ange say no matter what, we're not going to change our ways. We're not going to change our ways. If Van der Ven had been on that pitch, this is why we can play the high line, because he's there and his pace gets us out of trouble. I think with Dyer and Emerson, it was asking for trouble. But do you know what? Until that second goal went in, we were holding our own. And then once the second goal went in, the floodgates opened, didn't they? I mean, Son could have got an equaliser right near the end. That finish from Dyer was sensational. But Ange just said, this is how we're going to play. And he stuck to his laurels. Like Fulham, when people were saying about the changes he made and everything, does he come in for a bit of criticism? Maybe. But you know what? He deserves enormous credit. He did everything he could. We knew this run weren't going to be an invincible. The team gave, and like I said, this team should take a lot of pride. Those players that played should be very, very proud of what they tried to do. They really should. Although I will say, I don't know from what I was seeing, I think it was Basuma's. He was very, very quiet today, and you thought you would have got more from him, especially when Maddison went off. I mean, I don't know what Simeon. The commentary we could hardly hear because it was so noisy in the Scotland Yard. What was it with Maddison?
It was completely off the ball. He didn't get a touch. He just rolled his ankle a bit. And just said in his post-match comments that it doesn't seem too bad, but because we're already down to 10 men and he got a bit of a hit on the ankle, he just didn't want to risk it. And he knows like the 10 men are going to have to do a lot of running, and he just didn't think Anderson was up to it at that point, so he took him off. But hopefully it's not a long-term thing. But talking about the future, obviously there's a lot of talk about how well Tottenham are doing preceding this game. Now, this game, it seems as though all our luck has gone within 45 minutes of football, with Van der Ven looking like looks like a long-term one, to be honest. Romero's out for 3 games. Udogie's out for 1 game. Maddison, we'll have to wait and see how long he's out for. Now, do you feel like this specific game could have big ramifications for our season?
Yeah, because I will say, first of all, with Van der Ven, that looked like, do you remember when we had the All or Nothing documentary and Harry Kane did his hamstring at Southampton? Mm-hmm. It looked like, it didn't look like a little tweak or a tear. That looked like a long term. And I will say, listen, I'm not going to go mad with Levy up, but this just goes to show how quickly something can change and how imperative it was to get a couple of reinforcements, like another central defender that we all spoke about, or not letting Sanchez go. Yes, we got Phillips, who I've got great faith in. Dyer, and I will say again, Dyer came on in the first half when we could have crumbled. He made some very, very important blocks. And do you know what? He played a hell of a lot better than I thought he would have. But it just goes to show how quick this can change. Yeah. And now we could be, I mean, we've all said that centre-back pairing is pivotal and vital to us. And now we definitely know it's a minimum of 3 games before we see either of them, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's it's going to be tough. So what's your back for the next game?
Mate, this is the thing. Well, the good thing is, once again, you're looking at the international break has come in again. So for once, when we've been bemoaning this, that's 2 weeks where Van der Ven can recuperate, and hopefully that'll obviously bring him back quicker, and obviously we won't miss him for vital games. Mate, listen, Porro's got to start right back. Left back, Jesus Christ, here we go. This is where the who can you play now? Honestly, you look at it, Sessegnon, I don't know how fit he is.
To Phillips Dorrington, unless you think Højbjerg played so well today there, maybe he keeps his place as centre-back.
Do you know what? Again, he's another player that's coming for stick. He was brilliant when he came on. Some of his recovery, he was magnificent today. But yeah, you look at it, I'm a big fan of Ashley Phillips. Is it too early to put him in? Is it Dyer and Emerson? We are bare bone now in defence, aren't we?
Maybe just no centre back and play Vicario sweeper.
Yeah, do you know what? And then put Forster in goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Put Forster in goal. Vicario and Lloris in centre back.
Yeah, exactly. Just sweeping in front.
Yeah, mate. Vicario's tackling. I mean, some of the saves were brilliant, but his timing for some of those he could have easily got a couple of yellow cards. And how Mudryk didn't get, I thought with Mudryk's foul on him was a red card. That's what it looked like to me. I don't know how bad. I mean, he
It
did
didn't
do
look
it.
so bad on the replay, but he did look very badly injured from it. But he seemed okay at the
Yeah,
end, so I don't think it was a red.
please,
But
God.
yeah, let's hope, because we can't afford it. Look, it's mad. Like before this game, like 2 hours ago, we didn't have a care in the world when it came to people getting injured, and now all of a sudden we're like a treatment table, and like
Yeah.
everyone's on the ground. It's crazy how things can turn. Well, for you, in terms of closing comments, would you say today, if it ever started, would you say today is the day we stop talking about any sort of title challenge?
Listen, I always said it was too early to do this. We knew that a defeat was coming. It's just a shame it's come to those horrible lot. One thing I will say, Sim, in the closing statement, I was really disappointed that Brennan Johnson got subbed
Yeah.
because I thought he started off really, really well. I thought that should have been maybe Kulu going off because Brennan looked like he had the beating of them, and obviously Ange did what Ange thinks was best. Obviously, it hasn't worked. We move on. Listen, it was way too early to talk titles. Let's just hope we can gather ourselves together, pick ourselves up against Wolves, and get back on the winning trail.
All right. Brian, lovely to chat to you as always, my brother, and I look forward to seeing you
See you
soon.
later, my brother. Take care, everyone. Ta-da.
That was the great Brian Daigle giving his thoughts on our 4-1 defeat to Chelsea. Next up, we have Ariane in the house. Let's get him on. Yes, Ariane, long time no see. How are we doing today?
I don't know. It's mixed feelings, man. I think this one of my friends said this after the game, and it's very true. It's very much the opposite of a Conte win. How I'm feeling right now. Under Conte, we'd win, and you'd still be a little like, can we? I don't know if that was very convincing. And now here we lost, and you're just like, I'm still proud. Like I see what was there. But you can't be. So many things just happen where I just can't be happy. I can be proud. I can't be happy.
In terms, just quick one, in terms of that Conte thing, do you think this was Ange's answer to Conte bringing Sanchez on at the end against AC Milan?
That's what I said. I said, look, we need to go out the San Siro. Let's bring Sanchez on. We're 9 men. We're playing suicide football, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Look,
do you when you see Ange doing that with 9 men? We'll get into the incidents in a minute, but when you see Ange doing that with 9 men, are you like, this is just suicide? Like, what is he doing? Or are you just thinking, because look, it nearly worked, didn't it? With a few chances near the end.
So
you got to
say we had 3 chances to score. We had 3. We had Son who went 1-on-1 with Sanchez, and he made it. Well, pretty decent save in his defense. Bentancur, near miss, and Dyer scored a goal, was chalked up. That's 3 chances to score with 9 men. What else can you ask for? It worked, and we lost by 3 goals in the end. And I think if we scored one of those, it probably wouldn't have happened. So, is what it is, man. Is what it is, and it's the identity. It's all this DNA talk and whatever. That's exactly what it is, and that's our DNA, and that's how we play, and it's the identity we have, and it makes you capable and proud of getting behind even the Emersons and the Dyers and all that, because look, they were all here for it today. They fought for us. They fought exactly how we would have out there. They all played for it, and there's this quote I saw on Twitter. It was from Ange's book. It said, look, if you switch up on the players, even with 9 men, they're going to say, hang on, you wanted us to play football, possession football, 10 minutes ago. What's changed now? Why are we sitting in our box, dying in our box instead of trying to play the same football? Who cares if we have 9 men? You don't want to, you want to make sure that the message sends to the players that this is our identity. The players know that this is Tottenham. So from a coaching standpoint as well, they've practiced that all week, all month, all season long. They haven't practiced sitting deep and absorbing pressure and doing that. That's what they did last year, and we saw how it was working then. Why would it work now? They haven't been practicing it as much. So I think you stick to what you do best, and that's exactly what Ange did. And I'm here for it. And he's 10 times the football mind I am. So if he says it's right, it's right.
Talk to me about some of the incidences that happened throughout the game. Obviously, the red cards. Just talk to me about Romero in the first half, because he just had a nightmare, didn't he?
I think his performance before the red card was a nightmare. I don't think that was a red card though. I don't. I've been on record in the channel saying I play striker, and you said what kind of striker play has the number 33, and you'd be correct because I've been moved to center back since. And as a center back, that's a challenge I would not only make, I would get up and celebrate. I don't think in any universe that's a red card, and I don't think here's the way I look at it. Right, you look at the Curtis Jones incident,
yes, okay, exactly what I was
right?
going to bring up. Go on.
You look at the Curtis Jones incident. He leads that challenge with his studs going downwards on Basuma's foot. The way Romero got into the challenge, he leads it with his side foot clearing the ball, and his momentum carries him into Enzo. Unfortunately, high up, that's correct, but he leads the way the challenges are led are completely different, and the intention is completely different. I'm not saying Curtis Jones had the intention to take down Basuma, but it is a strange action to stomp downwards on the ball. It's not a strange action to clear it when the ball is 10 yards away from your goal with a shot coming in. I think the nature of the decision is completely different, and the way I look at it is Curtis Jones could have done something else going for that tackle. I don't think Romero as a defender has another option. He has to clear the ball. He has to get rid of it. If the only way I can look at a red card and justify it is, did he have another option to prevent the goal legally? I don't think he did. He clears the ball while moving. I just don't know what he's supposed to do in that situation that doesn't result in him getting booked or just letting Enzo have a free shot at goal. You know what I mean? If he did the only thing that was available to him as a defender, I don't get what else the referees expect him to do.
I guess the only retort to that would be when the foot is, when he's going in with such force and his studs end up above the ankle, he's risking it. And we've seen that many times this season, haven't we? So, I mean, it's hard to argue that one isn't, but the other ones we have seen this season are, isn't it?
The only one I have seen with my own two eyes is the Curtis Jones one. And I think that as far as the nature of the challenges go, they are different. I don't think they're like, just because it's going to the ball and ends up with studs, I don't think that makes them equal in just the eyes of the law. You look at them, you look at what Romero's doing, you look at what Curtis Jones is doing. I think they're completely different challenges. Just the nature of the challenge itself. So just for that reason, I can't justify that being a red in my eyes. I'm biased in it. Maybe I'm saying all this because I'm trying to justify it, but in my opinion, genuinely, I can't see how. I don't see what they. It's like the handballs from 3 years ago, where Dyer jumps up and it just smacks his hand. What else is he supposed to do in that situation? If there's a reasonable explanation to what the ref can say, look, you should have done this instead, then you can say it's a good decision, right? But you can't tell Dyer against Newcastle to jump up and have his hands on his hips. That doesn't make sense. The same way here, you can't tell Romero just to let Enzo shoot, right? And he has to go with that kind of force because he's already he's trying to close down a space. He wasn't next to Enzo when he did that. He was trying to close down the space, and he goes into Enzo, but he goes through the ball first. That's the key thing. And in a game like this, where the temperature was hot, there was pushing, there was shoving, and none of it was even given. When you know, as a player and as a defender, when you're in that situation, when you're in that boiling pot, right? Everyone's amped up. Enzo was expecting a challenge with physicality, and Romero gave it to him. I just if there was a reasonable answer to the referee said, okay, instead of doing that challenge, you should have done this challenge, it would make sense to me. But there isn't, and I don't see another thing Romero could have done as a defender. Because if he leaves him and leaves Enzo shoot, then we're all saying, what the fuck are you doing, Romero? Why are you letting Enzo shoot? Do you know what I mean?
But I don't know. I feel like this season, Romero has been very controlled with his aggression, and he's done it superbly, and he's really played off Van de Ven. But today it just felt like he was wild. I felt like he was wild today, and he was off his rocker. And I don't know what was up with him. He was kicking out. Even the first goal that Sterling got chalked off, Romero was up the pitch pushing Silva. He was getting all sorts of fights. I'm guessing, look, it's a London derby, and that's part of Romero that I love. I don't want to take it away from him, but he's also got to take responsibility when he does stupid shit. And I think he was doing that today, unfortunately. And I think, look, everyone talks about his red cards and it's going to cost us all that kind of thing. Sergio Ramos, how many red cards did he get in his career? And he's one of the best centre backs in Europe or ever. So I don't think just because he gets the odd red card that's going to mean that he's not worth having in the team. I disagree with that. But sometimes, like today, it's going to cost you, and I don't think it did cost us today.
I think if he got it sent off for the kick out at Colwell, it would have been more justified. I wouldn't have come in here defending because I think that was rash. I'm surprised he didn't get booked for that. Honestly, I was very surprised to see it, especially with the. I thought, okay, well, because they did one thing with the VAR, they can't go back again. But that's exactly what they did for the penalty and red card. So I was just thinking, so why have you not sent him off earlier? Because
Mm.
that was more of a red card to me than his challenge was. Same with the one they checked on Udogi, which honestly the Udogi one that they checked was even more baffling to me because
You
he
think
goes
that?
in with
So
one
sorry.
foot.
You think the Dogi didn't deserve a red card as well?
Udogi, I don't think the Udogi one was a foul to begin with. I thought because look, what happened is he came in with one foot. I think at the very end he like snuck in his second foot, which was very strange. But he led the challenge with one foot. And neither foot made contact with him as far as I saw, and if it did, it was very minimal contact. So, and they described it as an orange card. I was thinking that's not a foul. If it's a card, it's barely a yellow card. So I guess just the threshold I have on how rough a challenge is might just be wildly different than the Premier League's.
Now, on a yellow card though, was the second yellow justified?
I think the second yellow was justified. Sterling might be going down before his main card. It doesn't matter. That's a stupid slide in, and Sterling's looking for it, and he has every right to look for it in that situation. So. What can you do about that? Yeah, he's a young player, inexperienced. I think got to him. He made the incredible interception there to stop the attack, and then did that right afterwards, which is frustrating. But it's what it is at the end of the day. I can't fault him for too long, because when you're in that a tense game with 10 men and you're running your socks off, you can't even think straight. So he was just trying to put a foot in like everybody else, won that ball, go on a counterattack, and he made a mistake. Mistakes happen.
But today was costly more off the pitch potentially than maybe with the result because Van de Ven looks like he's got a bad injury. Apparently, he left the stadium on crutches today. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. Madison went off injured in the first half as well, but hopefully he doesn't look too bad. Romero's going to be out for 3 games. Udogi's going to be out for a game. Is today the day for you that it all came crashing down a bit? Not crashing down, that's harsh, but maybe a bit of reality, maybe a reality check?
Look, I think... in terms of reality checks, because look, this is what everyone's been talking about, and honestly, everyone's been wanting in the media, as far as I can tell. Oh, when Tottenham get injured, it's happened. Happy now. Look, I think the biggest miss out of all of those is going to be Van de Ven. Madison looks like he's going to be fine, but Van de Ven, what he brings, that recovery pace, that class, that confidence, I mean, just you can only hope it's just not forever. I think it's going to be a maximum of like 3-4 months, whatever. I think the worst we've seen was Harry Kane's rupture as Brian Davis. I don't think it's as bad because Kane quite literally tore his hand, like the muscles disconnected. It didn't look like that's what happened with Van de Ven, at least.
I mean, he looked like in serious pain. I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
Pain. Maybe, but even the thing is, the two encouraging things with that are, first of all, I don't think the recovery time was like as long as like Bentancur's was with like 8 months. I think it's like 3-4 months. I think right. And second of all, Kane has not got a hamstring injury since. So I guess our medical team know what to do when it comes to that specific injury. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Knock on wood. You don't want to jinx anything, but that's going to be a huge blow. And I think our next 3 games where Romero is going to be out are Wolves, Villa, and Man City, which are Wolves I think are the easiest out of that line. I don't think Wolves are a particularly easy team to play against. So Villa and City back to back without Romero or Van de Ven probably is going to be some challenge. But you know what? This season was always the kind of season where I don't think anyone had expectations, and if we had expectations, I don't think any of us genuinely had them for the title. If we get anywhere near that top 5, top 6, I'm not going to complain. And I think more than anything, the fact that everyone was still cheering in full voice after 4-1 is just the best response to tonight, because everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. There was not a single thing that you beforehand, someone asked you, what do you not want? You don't want red cards, you don't want a penalty, you don't want injuries. All of that happened. Every single thing that you would have listed up as you don't want to happen happened. And at the end of the day, I think we left that with happier with the performance than the Chelsea fans did. Genuinely, because I think they're going to be dreading that next game, because that was not a convincing performance with 9 men to me. I don't think it really was.
Also,
either.
if it was Van de Ven there, not Dyer, I don't know. I feel like he would have caught Jackson a few more times than Dyer
Oh,
did.
definitely. Oh, definitely. I mean, look, Dyer, all credit to him, and all credit to fucking Vicario.
Mm.
That is best goalkeeper performance I've ever seen with my two eyes. Premier League, Champions League, Europe, whatever league you want to think of, that is the best goalkeeping performance. He was a center back half the game. Just
And a good one.
and a good one. He would have started last season for us. I don't think there's a keeper in world football on better form than Vicario. And I think just the only one that's better than him on merit is Allison at the moment, because he is an absolute unit of a goalkeeper. Nothing can get past this man under normal circumstances. Under normal circumstances, there's not a goal that goes past. He's absolutely incredible at every aspect of being a goalkeeper, with his feet, sweeping, catching crosses, which I guess is what we thought he was weak at in preseason. Which goes to show how preseason is just so deceiving. What a player, man.
Yeah.
Dyer gave a fantastic. Højbjerg came in, was absolutely phenomenal. Højbjerg was. I thought he was our second best player on the pitch, followed by Porro, who was outstanding. Just everybody in that back line, I think, just fought really well. Emerson was great. I think what was Højbjerg playing left back at some? I couldn't even tell what he was doing, but he was everywhere. He was Mr. Everywhere tonight. Everybody was just fantastic. And look, I'm so proud of that. You know, it does fill me with a little bit of hope that we can still perform well against the likes of Wolves and Villa and just Man City. I am shitting bricks for that game, but besides that, I think I'm still hopeful that we can go into the season with positive results after positive results. It does kind of suck that our undefeated run is over though.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult considering injuries now. But look, everyone's been, as you're saying, everyone's been talking about, well, when these injuries come, what's going to happen when, kind of we've been watching every Spurs game in a bit of a dreamland before this. Everyone's fit, everyone's playing well. It's all been hunky-dory for the first 10 games. And literally it's been wiped out in a 45-minute spell, like completely decimated. And now we're going to have to see what this team is really made of. And now with a makeshift team and a makeshift defenders, we're going to see what Ange is all about and what he can really do. But look, Ariane, always great to chat to you, my friend. And we'll see you very soon. Lovely to see you.
I'll be here for Wolves after we win. And as always, come on, you Spurs!
Come on! Always love the passion from Ariane. Got some super chats here. First of all, welcome to gold to Tony Messer and Charlie Vale. Big up to you guys. Tom's sending a super chat, but I'm not going to read it, but thank you for the super chat. And Ennio Rodrigo says, rivals only talk about the downfall. Everyone hates us. I don't think people see the change in the mentality of the team. I think we'll win our next 2 games. This result will have toughened the team. I hope you're right. Our next 2 games are tough. We've got Wolves away, Villa at home. I'm not saying we're going to go on some mad losing run, but look, there are going to be some bumps in the road now. It's not going to be the team won't be as functional as it was. That's the reality. And I think we're going to find wins harder to come by than we did. But that's not to mean that we can't do it. Hopefully the fact that the way we're playing, even without Van de Ven, we should still be an attacking team and we're still going to be on the front foot, just means with Dyer there or whoever, we're probably going to be a bit more open in the back than maybe we have been. And that is a shame, but we're going to have to deal with it. Doesn't mean we can't win. It just means it's going to be more difficult. Let's get on our next guest. We have Mikey. Hi, Mikey. I think you're on mute.
I'm not on mute.
Oh, no, you're fine now. You're all good. How are you doing? How are you doing today after a bad defeat? A lot of fans, I've never seen such a positive reaction to a 4-1 defeat. How are you feeling after it?
I mean, I was there. So,
you went to the game?
Yeah, I did. As you can tell, my voice is completely gone. I lost it before the first half ended. I'm going to be real. No, I left after the 3rd goal went in because I had such a long way to travel back. I would have stayed if I didn't have a long way to go. I genuinely would. I think the boys put in a really good performance, regardless of the individual shortcomings, I should say. But I would have stayed till the final whistle, but I had to get back. Otherwise, I would have been back at like 1 a.m. if I missed my train. So the game's a game. The amount of added time forced me to leave early. But, ultimately...
Oh, sorry. You've been taken off. There you go. You're back.
Trying to get rid of me, are you? I can leave.
No, it's a bit of a glitch, I think. Glitch in the system. All right. What were you saying, Mikey?
I was saying that I think the 11v11 was really no contest. I do think we were absolutely scored one, should have scored another. I've seen the replays I get, it's so tight. I think automated offsides would make it a lot easier because it did take a couple minutes and then it took forever to decide other decisions, and VAR is a whole other thing to go through. But today it kind of came back to bite us after we've had some more than fortuitous decisions go our way in the past. So
yeah, let's hope so. But in terms of the incidents, what did you make out of them? Did you think Romero? I mean, I don't know if you've seen them back or not. Did you feel like inside the stadium? I saw that the Romero red card got a bad reception when it was showed on screen. But I don't know if you've had a chance to look back at it or not, or what did you make of it?
Well, I was in the south stand with a lot of people shouting it wasn't. I think at first I wasn't obviously looking at. I didn't have my eyes fixed on Romero, so I didn't see what happened. But on the replay, I think to me, not people. What I see is so his leg. He gets the ball, the leg, but his leg goes like this, and his studs move up a bit, and it looks like he's moved them up to make contact with Fernandez, because originally his foot's like this. It looks like his foot's gone like this and given the studs into it. That's just my interpretation of it. But what I would say is, I think regardless, I was talking to Ariane of it, and I said he didn't have an option. It was either in that situation, because of it was either give away a penalty or let Enzo Fernandez have a free shot on goal. I don't think there was anything much more he could do. There was no way he was coming away with the ball cleanly there, and he's gone to ground. He's taken one for the team in the worst way possible. He's let himself down. Well, not taken one for the team, sorry. The opposite of that. He's let the team down, and ultimately, I think it was a justified red card. I do.
Yeah, I have to agree. Unfortunately, it wasn't great from Romero. Well, actually, one thing I wanted to get your opinion, seeing as you were at the game, I don't know how early you went into the game, but what was the reception like for Pochettino when he came out of the tunnel?
I was there from 6:45, so I didn't see him come out as such. But when he kind of was organising his players and he said, managed by Mauricio Pochettino, there was a few kind of respectful claps, but there was no cheers, and the boos obviously claps aren't loud as booing. So you had a few respectful claps, but there was a lot of people booing. There was a few people in the upper tiers. I was sitting next to a guy who was like, I could never say anything bad against him, even though he's managing. It's different if he went to Arsenal, but he went to Chelsea. For what he did for us, getting us to a UCL final, I think I can't ever hate the man. Some people upstairs were like, "Poch, you're a C word," and so there was a lot of differing attitudes there, but I just gave him a respectful clap and moved on, to be honest.
Fair enough. So in terms of the second half as well, Udogie got himself sent off, unfortunately for him as well. Did you feel like that was also justified?
I think that's more justified than he should. I think he was lucky to be on the pitch to begin with. The first yellow was very 50-50. If there's such thing as an orange card, that's what it would have been. It was a very 50-50, and I think I can't sit here and defend what I see as cold hard facts. And Udogie we've seen him play so well against more gifted right wingers on a yellow card. I'm not saying Raheem Sterling's a bad player, but Salah and Saka are by far the best right wingers in the league. And he's held his own. I don't know what went wrong tonight. He didn't need to make that tackle. It was a rush of blood to the head for a young defender. And it's cost him. He'll be back for Villa. I'm just glad our fullbacks are going to be good for the Villa game, Udogie and Porro. It's the centre-backs. Oh, God.
Yeah, tell me about it, because Van der Ven, Postecoglou described his injury as a significant one in his post-match press conference. Romero's also out for the next 3 games. Udogie's out for a game. Maddison also went off injured today. Where's our defence gone?
I think we'll see Maddison maybe on the bench or rested for Wolves. I think unless I don't know if he'll be in the England squad. Obviously, there's no way he won't be. So, especially with the caliber of opposition we've got coming up, he might give a chance. Especially with Bellingham's shoulder dislocation, it looks like Maddison's now the prime target to start in England's midfield. So, with Bellingham's shoulder dislocated, Maddison will start. So, I think he might just be rested a little bit. It might be Lo Celso stepping in. It might be Bentancur stepping in sooner than we needed to, sooner than we would have liked him to. But in terms of Maddison, I'm not too worried. He said it was a precaution. precautionary substitution. It's not too bad. It should keep him off training for a couple of days. And Saturday early kickoff, I hope to see him fit and ready. But centre back, oh my God, we've got 3 fit ones, and one of them's not even a centre back. We've got, I don't know if Ben Davies is fit, but I would prefer to play. Dyer will start, obviously, and it's about who partners him. Is it Ashley Phillips or Ben Davies? Do you throw Phillips in at the deep
I
end,
mean,
or
we
do you
need
play
Davis a
Ben
left back.
Davies?
Unless we
Yeah.
could play Emerson there as well. A left back and maybe Davis centre, or it's difficult.
If Davis is fit enough, you saw in pre-season, Postecoglou wanted a left-footed centre back. You know, you saw even with Udogie, when we didn't have Van de Ven signed yet, we saw him playing Romero and Davis as the 2 centre backs. So I think you'll see Porro right back or Emerson left back, or them switching. You'll have those 2, and then you'll have Dyer as the right centre back and Davis at left centre back, probably for the Aston Villa game, which I'm not looking forward to, as Moussa Diaby's pace, by the way. I've just thought of that. Van de Ven would have been tasked with stopping Moussa Diaby. Oh my Lord.
Yeah, I know. It's not great to think about, isn't it? A lot of these
Erling Haaland. Oh dear God. Oh no. I mean,
we're probably not gonna have Romero or Van de Ven against City. It's going to be very difficult for the next few games.
I mean, you see a lot of teams appeal a decision and it gets reduced by 2 or 1. I don't think Tottenham are going to appeal Romero's red card, if I'm honest. No. I don't see the point. Nor do I see the point. You know, Udogie will be back for the Villa game. That's fair enough. I think Udogie will be tasked with stopping Diaby. I think he'll be kind of man marking Diaby, which will be a little bit of a comfort, I guess. But I just like to lose those 2 in the way that we did within 45 minutes. You tell me 4 of our 5 key players have either been suspended or gone off injured or just not played well today. And that is horrible. Literally, Van de Ven, Romero, Udogie, Maddison. All you needed was a Son injury, and it would have completed it would have completed what would have been an absolute shit show of a result. But at least we still have Heung-min Son fit, so you know that's one positive.
Yeah, keep that. We can keep him.
And Vicario, I just want to give a special mention. He was like in the stadium every time Sterling came out. I sat back and I was like, yeah, Vicario will get it. And he was genuinely, I think, in a game of 5s and 6s, I think when you do your match ratings tomorrow, I don't expect to see anything less than a double 10 from you and Ben for Vicario. He was
sensational, wasn't he? Yeah, absolutely sensational. Don't disagree. But look, Mikey, great to chat to you, my friend. Good to see you. Rest up. We've got a big week ahead of the Wolves game. So look, be prepared, because we know. Just be prepared, because you know the way things are going, we might need you on the pitch. So do you play centre back, Mikey? We might need you.
I don't play.
Nice one. Good to see you, mate. See you soon. That was Mikey. Always good to having him. I'm getting some feedback here. One sec. Who's that coming from? Do you know? I will try and sort that. It's coming from okay, but can we bring him on? Let's get on the Hotspur hippie. Hello. Can I hear you?
G'day, man. G'day, man. I'll put my mic on mute when I'm not talking in case it's a problem. How you going? Sim?
All good. Nice to see you. Yeah, maybe do you have 2 links open? Maybe that's causing the problem. I don't know what's causing an echo, but look, we've been beaten 4-1 today. It was a very disappointing result, but a lot of people are taking the positives from today, considering how we played with 9 men and how the team continued to battle and tried to win the game, essentially, with 9 men. How do you see how things went?
Well, I've never been happier after a defeat, let alone a 4-1 defeat. I think there was a lot to be positive about. You know, things happen. A lot happened to us all at one time, and it's how you respond and play the rest of the game. And I'm really happy with the effort we put in. I don't think our title race is over by any means. I thought that I'm proud of them. You know, I'm absolutely proud of them. Yeah,
and I think a lot of fans share your sentiments. But a lot of what would you say to fans who say, look, the way Ange played with 9 men is kind of suicidal and he should have been smarter when doing that and maybe we could have come away with the result?
Well, we would have parked the bus and lost 2-1 maybe. You know, doing what we did, we kept ourselves in the game. You know, we had a couple of chances there. I mean, I was entertained. And also, if we're playing this style, you only get better at playing this style by playing it out in anger on the pitch. You don't want to waste any time, no matter what the circumstances are, parking the bus, changing your way of play. Because this is the way Ange is going. This is the way we're playing, that's it. So you don't want to waste any competitive time doing something else. I think he did great. And you know what I really liked about it? The players doing that means that they believe in Ange Postecoglou. They didn't wilt. Their heads didn't go down. They didn't go hands on hips.
Absolutely, I think you're absolutely right on that, and I think as well the fans' reaction to it says a lot. The fact that after the game it was in full voice, everyone believing in Ange and cheering his name, which after losing 4-1 at home to Chelsea is hard to believe, considering the rivalry and everything like that. So I think you're absolutely right. But in terms of the incidents in the game, what did you feel? Did you feel they went against Tottenham? Were they unlucky, or were the red cards deserved?
Well, I like what Ange said after the game. The referee, just accept the referee's decision. It's better than VAR, standing around waiting for things. I thought the Romero one was a fair red card. I thought Udogie was a little bit more unlucky, but I mean, who's to say, that's the way it was. There's no point in whinging about it. And, the VAR goal or the goal, was it VAR? Oh, who cares, man? Who cares? The match is what it was. And I thought, given those circumstances, we did better than I thought we could have. So, I know it's a defeat now. This is weird because we'd win 1-0 last year and I'd be pissed off all week, or lose. Usually when Spurs lose, I can't get out of bed for a week. But I'm still pretty upbeat. I thought there was enough in those performances, like Vicario. I mean, Premier League's best goalkeeper. Højbjerg came on and had a stormer. We were still bloody trying, man, which is more than we've done for the past few years.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. In terms of, the concerning stuff, Anne just described Van de Ven's injury as a, quote, significant one. It didn't look very good when he came off. Leaves us very short centre-back, considering Romero is now out for 3 games with his red card. Udogie's out. Maddison picked up an injury. Is this all Tottenham's luck being rolled into one game? Or how do you feel about that? And do you think this game, in a way, could have lasting effect on how our season goes now, considering what's happened? Or are you not that doom and gloom?
Well, you might as well have your crap in one big burger instead of spread out here and there, leaving you hanging on. Here's my reading of it. Brennan Johnson, our first 15 minutes were fantastic. And just kept on saying that we need to improve our front three, and I reckon we're going to get there. So, my hope, because I'm an optimist until something else happens. I mean, it's all well good saying, this may happen and die and all this. But if our front three kick off for the next few games, because we're going to have a bit of a rough few games, if they kick off, I reckon there's every chance that we could still end up scoring more goals than we let in. If we're winning games 5-4, I don't give a shit. We're still winning. So there's still hope as far as I'm concerned. I think, it's going to be challenging, but that's what football's about. You don't want it all easy. Well, you do. But, it's going to be interesting to see the growth in our players. And the fans were absolutely fantastic in that second half, man. The way they were backing us when our backs were against the wall. No, it's not over yet, man. I'm still happy. I'm looking forward to next week.
See you, mate. Thanks for calling in, and we'll see you very, very soon.
Yeah, cheers, man. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Big up to Paul. Always great to have him on and get his views. All right, next up. First, we've got a super chat here from David Shire. It says, COYS, we move on. Monkey off our back, we move on. And Guha Aaron Kumar says, really proud of this team. Both Reds were justified. Hope Van de Ven and Madders are fine. Dyer, Højbjerg were great despite not playing much. Onwards. Come on, you Spurs. So a lot of positive fans today, despite the defeat. And despite the manner of the defeat as well, and despite who was against, a lot of people still very positive with the direction of the club. And even today, everyone was still cheering at the end, and they even played the music after the game. And obviously, it wasn't a party after a defeat, but it just goes to show where the fans are at, considering this definitely would not have happened after a defeat last season. So, but let's move on to who else? It's me, it's KPV.
Yes, mate. How you doing?
How you doing, Carl? What shirt are you wearing there? Let me see the shirt.
Madrid, man. It's
Madrid.
Yeah.
And we didn't play like
Madrid,
Madrid today, unfortunately, did we? But tell me about what your thoughts on the game were today.
Well, for starters, like, the referee was shocking. VAR needs to go. Like, Romero didn't even get his Argentina teammate Enzo Fernandez, because got the ball, man. Like, that's never a penalty. Like, yeah, Caicedo thought he scored, that was offside, but yeah, the goal was ruled out. And then Michael Oliver goes to the monitor and check if that was a pen. Like, never a pen, man. Like, and then a dog gets sent off. Like, how? Like, didn't even touch Sterling, and never, man. So now Romero's out for 3 games, and the dog is only out for the Wolves game. But left back, we need, like, I think we'll probably play Ben Davis there, or Royale can play. But yeah, how we got 2 reds, man? This is the first time we've had 9 players. Like, we've been down to 9 players. Like, the second time it was Liverpool. Like, when we slapped Liverpool 4-0 under Redknapp in September 2011, that was when the first time they had 2 players sent off. And then this season, Liverpool have 2 players sent off. So that's the second time we've had 2 players sent off. And first time we've had 2 sent off. So, like, should have been a 4-4 draw, like it was Robbie Keane scored that stunning goal. I would have been proud. We still would have been unbeaten. But, yeah, but Vicario, hopefully he's fine. How did Mudryk not get sent off, man? Vicario could have died then, but, like, I don't care. Like, just don't like Chelsea, and I still don't like Poch. So fuck Poch, and still I don't like Chelsea. But I'll let Sammy off this one. But coming with Rangers, the
I
big man,
won't.
the
Don't
Rangers
worry.
fan-
I won't let him off.
No, man. Like, anyways, they were still shit tonight, and this is now, look, Kulu scores against City 2 times, and then scores against Chelsea. Like, he's now scored in 2 big games. Like, last season he scored against City, and this season scores at home to Chelsea. Like, 3 Premier League goals. Like, I think it's time to jump on the Kulusevski bandwagon, people, in FPL. I've had to take Van der Ven out because he got injured, so Romero's now out. So who's going to play centre back? But I thought Dyer done pretty good. And
It's the question everyone's asking, KPV. Well, who is going to play a centre back? Because at the moment we've pretty much run out of all our centre backs, considering both of them are out. So I guess we'll have to see what's going to happen. How did you feel like we played with 9 men today? Were you proud of our performance?
I was proud of the performance, as a Big Ange said, and Vicario, I think, man of match, a few great saves, and I was proud. I'm still proud of the boys. Like Toby said, couldn't be more proud of the boys. And Jan even put on Twitter saying probably the hardest defense line I've seen in my life. Like, get the boots back on, lad, and come back to us, because we need you, man. You can play centre back, and get on the phone to Toby, mate. Bring him back, because these 2 would never let 4 goals in, and these 2 would never let 4 goals in at the new stadium. Like, time to bring those Belgian duo back. But I'm still proud of the team. On we go to Wolves away, which we always seem to win there. So, but we only lost there once. That was last season. We lost 1-0 to Traore. But Wolves away, 1-0. We're going to win that game anyway. But without our 2 centre backs, like, as you heard Brian Degger say about the All or Nothing documentary, Kane, it was angry injury against Southampton when we lost 1-0, and Kane came back during the lockdown and came back strong. But he and Son was actually injured against Villa when he scored them 2 goals, and he was injured. So under Mourinho we didn't have any signings, but the Celso did played good under him, but that was during the lockdown. And then, yeah, we come back stronger. But who's going to step up on Saturday? As if we win, we go back to the top. But we could have done that tonight. But still proud of the boys. And yeah, when we go to Wolves, and then we got Villa at home, who just lost already to Forest. So, but yeah, we've got someone who we didn't want to have, Longley, returning to the new stadium. So we're not Emery's record against us is ending. I said last is would end that Chelsea streak. Well, we're not Emery's winning streak against us is ending, people, after the Wolves game. So, but Wolves away
Damn
first.
right.
Like I said, Bentancur was going to come off the bench for the winner, but I guess that didn't happen. But the Premier League ain't ready for him. So he will definitely score on Saturday, but he does score some great goals, and hopefully he'll score Saturday, because before the World Cup, he was probably the best centre mid in the Prem, and getting a few assists. So great to see him come back from injury. That was at Palace and home tonight. But yeah, still proud of the boys. And yeah, Wolves away, then yeah, Villa and City. But City, you never know. We might win it there because we won there. That was under Conte, 3-2. So who knows? Might see another Kulusevski masterclass. So
Who knows? Who knows, KPV? I would love it. Absolutely love it if we saw another Kulusevski masterclass. But
yeah,
Carl,
yeah.
always good to chat to you, my friend. Always good to see you. And we'll see you very soon.
Yeah, and I'm going to do a membership for the Tottenham, because I haven't done a membership yet. I should have done it, but I was going to go to the game, but I'm glad I didn't. But I'll see you at the West Ham game if you're going in December. Like I saw you and Ben at Brentford, but I'll see you at the West Ham game if you're going. So I'll see you then. And as always, Daigle in.
All right. Big up to you, Carl. And that was KPV in the house. Was he the last one? All right. That was the last caller of the day. Not the longest fan show, but it's been a very long game and a very long night for all Tottenham fans after a 4-1 defeat to Chelsea tonight. But big up to everyone who's been following all our content today. There's more content to come coming out. I think you can go and see Ange's press conference where he talks at length about VAR and Van de Ven's injury on there. So go and check his press conference as well. But big up everyone who's sending in super chats in the chat, and everyone who's commented and liked and been part of the watch along and the post-match fan show today. Much appreciated. Really helps support the channel. So big up to everyone out there who's watching our content. But we'll see you very, very soon. We'll see you tomorrow for the debrief. Ben will be in the studio with me, and we'll go through everything that happened today in minute detail, in a more detailed breakdown. But lovely to see you and speak to you all, and we'll see you very soon. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.